The Galactic Council had been unanimous. Every species, from the crystalline Vextheri to the gaseous Nephrons, had signed the non-interference accord without hesitation. The logic was sound. They argued, space was vast, dangerous, and unforgiving. If a ship went down in contested or hazardous territory, rescue missions often resulted in more casualties than the original incident. It was better, they reasoned, to let fate take its course than to throw good lives after bad. Every species had signed, except the humans. Commander Haley Chin stood on the bridge of the UESC Defiance, her dark eyes fixed on the distress beacon pulsing weakly on the holographic display. The signal originated from deep within the shattered belt, a notorious asteroid field laced with unstable gravitational anomalies and the wreckage of 100 failed expeditions. "Ma'am, that's a Chu-Wrath vessel," Lieutenant Christian Reeves reported from the communications station, his fingers dancing across the haptic interface. "Their distress call went out 40 minutes ago. Life support is failing." "How many survivors?" Haley asked, her voice calm but firm. "Sensors indicate 12 life signs. Maybe fewer now." Christian paused, then added, "The Chu-Wrath High Command has already declared them lost. They're not sending anyone." Haley's jaw tightened. The Chu-Wrath were one of humanity's closest trading partners, peaceful, intelligent beings who resembled oversized mantises with iridescent carapaces. They were also strict adherents to the non-interference accord. "Of course they're not," she muttered. "Navigation, plot a course into the belt. Maximum safe speed." The bridge fell silent. Her executive officer, a grizzled veteran named Torres, cleared his throat. "Commander, we're not signatories to the accord, but entering the shattered belt violates about a dozen spatial treaties. The Council will file a complaint." Haley turned to face him, her expression hard as steel. "Let them. Those are people out there, Torres. We don't leave people behind." Christian felt a surge of pride as he watched his commander. This was what made humans different, he thought. This stubborn, illogical, beautiful refusal to accept the cold calculus of survival that governed the rest of the galaxy. The Defiance shuddered as it entered the asteroid field, her shields flaring as debris pinged off the hull. Haley stood with her feet planted wide, absorbing each impact with the practiced ease of someone who'd spent half her life in combat zones. "Christian, try to raise them on emergency channels." She ordered that he adjusted the frequency, cutting through layers of interference. Finally, a weak, chittering voice came through. "This is Chu-Wrath Vessel Serenity's prayer. Hull breached. Oxygen at 12%. Please, if anyone." "Serenity's prayer. This is UESC Defiance." Christian responded immediately. "We're coming for you. Hold on." There was a long silence. Then, You are human?" "That's right." "But the accord, your species risks much." Christian glanced at Haley, who nodded for him to continue. "Yeah, well," he said with a slight smile, "we're not very good at following rules when lives are on the line." Another voice broke through on the council frequency, sharp and authoritative. It was Ambassador Zelvar of the Vextheri. "Human vessel Defiance, you are in violation of multiple interstellar regulations. Withdraw immediately." Haley stepped forward, her voice carrying across the bridge. "Ambassador, with all due respect, we're a little busy right now. Defiance out." She cut the channel before Zelvar could respond. The next 20 minutes were a ballet of controlled chaos. The Defiance threaded through spinning asteroids, each one capable of crushing her hull like aluminum foil. Haley's orders came crisp and clear, her crew responding with the precision of a well-oiled machine. "Gravitational anomaly, port side," the navigator called out. "Compensate and roll 15 degrees." Haley commanded without hesitation. Christian kept the line open to the Chu-Wrath ship, talking them through each moment. "We see you now. 200 meters. We're launching tethers." The Chu-Wrath vessel was a wreck, its elegant curves scarred and torn. Atmosphere vented from multiple breaches, forming glittering clouds of frozen oxygen. Christian could see movement through the viewports, desperate faces pressed against the glass. "Tethers away," Torres reported. Magnetic cables shot across the void, clamping onto the damaged ship's hull. "We've got them." Reeling in. But space, as always, had other plans. Warning klaxons shrieked as a previously dormant asteroid suddenly shifted, its trajectory altered by one of the field's capricious gravity wells. It was massive, easily 10 times the size of the Defiance, and it was tumbling directly toward both ships. Estimated impact, 45 seconds, the navigator said, his voice tight. Every eye on the bridge turned to Haley. The math was brutal and simple. They could release the tethers and escape with seconds to spare, or they could hold on and risk destruction trying to pull the Churath vessel to safety. Haley's response came without a heartbeat's hesitation. Full power to engines. Bring them in fast. Commander, Torres began. Now, Torres. The Defiance roared, her engines burning at 120% capacity. The tether cables screamed under the strain as both ships accelerated. Christian watched the timer count down, 30 seconds, 20, 15, while the asteroid loomed larger on every screen. We're not going to make it, someone whispered. Yes, we are, Haley said firmly, gripping her chair. Christian, tell them to brace for emergency dock. We're doing this hot. At 10 seconds, the Churath vessel slammed into the Defiance's docking bay, the impact rattling teeth throughout the ship. At 7 seconds, the bay doors began cycling closed. At 3 seconds, they sealed with a pressurized hiss. At 0 seconds, the asteroid passed through the space where both ships had been moments before, missing the Defiance's stern by less than 50 meters. The bridge erupted in ragged cheers. Haley allowed herself a small smile before her professional mask slipped back into place. Torres, damage report. Minor hull stress, one blown coupling, and our engines are going to need a complete overhaul, he replied, grinning despite himself. But we're alive. And our passengers. Christian listened to his headset, then looked up with genuine warmth in his eyes. All 12 Churath accounted for and stable. Medical teams are with them now. Later, as the Defiance limped toward the nearest starbase, Haley found Christian in the observation deck, staring out at the stars. She stood beside him in companionable silence. The council is furious, she finally said. 3 formal complaints, 2 sanctions pending, and a very strongly worded letter about reckless disregard for established protocols. Christian chuckled. What else is new? The Churath High Command, however. Haley's expression softened. They've invited us to their homeworld. Highest honors. They're calling us heroes. We just did what anyone should do. No, Haley corrected gently. We did what humans do. What we've always done. She paused, choosing her words carefully. Every other species looks at space and sees mathematics. Risk versus reward. Acceptable losses, logical outcomes. We look at space and see people worth saving. Christian nodded slowly. You think the council will ever understand that? Maybe not, Haley admitted. But those 12 Churath we pulled out of the belt today, they understand. Their families understand. And eventually, word spreads. She was right. In the weeks that followed, something shifted in the galaxy. The non-interference accord remained in place, signed by every species but one. Yet when disaster struck, when ships went down in impossible places, a new phrase began echoing across emergency channels, whispered in a dozen languages by desperate souls. Call the humans. The Deathworlders will come. And they always did.